So I thought today I would make a video where I select my Stray Kids bias. I feel like it's time. I just recently, probably a few days ago now it's been, found out that some of the Stray Kids members were from Australia, and then from there I decided to listen to some of their music. So far, loved everything I've heard. I've made some reactions on my pages. The Stray Kids fans, which are called Stay, have been so nice, so welcoming. I now have over 100 followers, which is so nice. I'm going to react to a lot more of the songs. I've only heard a few and seen a few of the music videos, so still very new to all of this, still trying to learn the names. I barely know a lot, like anything. I just made a short where I did a few quiz questions, and you can go watch that if you want. It was only like 3 or 4 questions, and you'll see if I did well or not, but I definitely guessed one of the questions, I felt like, so I still don't know a lot. But I thought it was time to choose my bias. So what I thought I'd do in this video is I would go through each member, like I'll look up some information, then, speak about what I've learned about each member. And then I guess one by one, I'll, have to remove one until I end up with my bias. And I thought it'd be funny because I heard about something called a bias wrecker, which apparently is like the one that could make you switch to a different bias. So I thought I'd select that as well, because I feel like it's going to be hard to be like, oh, this is the one, this is my bias. But again, like I said, this is all for fun. I think they're all great. They're all talented. They all bring something to the group. And like I said earlier, but yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to do that on camera, because I'm going to react to more music videos, but I didn't want to just make every video me reacting to a song. So I thought it'd be fun to do this. Okay, so I thought I'd scoot on over here because I thought it makes sense for me to sit over here so we can put their pictures all up here. And then one by one, I'll go through each member. So hopefully now, to my, if I did my amazing editing skills, which I don't have any editing skills, hopefully their pictures are showing you now. If they're not, then I don't know what we're doing. I'm just sitting here on the side of my camera while there's just a white wall. But hopefully I was able to add some photos here. So yeah, we'll go through each member and we will select my bias. Okay, so I'm going to start with Lino. So Lino is 26 years old. He was born in South Korea. Now, I probably should say, if I get any of this wrong, I apologize. You guys can let me know in the comment sections if I got anything wrong, because I'm getting this all based off doing research online, what I mean? That could be wrong. So yeah. Apparently he's the main dancer, but he can sing and rap as well. What I really like, what I heard is apparently he's hilariously blunt. Like, he says what's on his mind, and it could come out really funny at times. It makes him like almost like a comedian without meaning to be a comedian. So I love that. I think that's definitely points there. I feel like I can relate. I can sometimes be like that with my friends. Another thing I really like is apparently he owns 3 cats and he treats them like children. And apparently that say that he acts like a cat himself. He has cat energy, which I also love. I think that's hilarious. He also apparently has, I'm going to say apparently a lot because, again, this is what I'm reading online, so I feel like the word apparently needs to come up every second, because this is not, guaranteed that all this is true. He might not have 3 cats, I'm not sure, but it's just what I'm reading online. He apparently has older brother energy, but it's like in a chaotic way. I think it goes back to his really blunt humor, but then obviously, he's got that brother energy being 26. I'm guessing a few of the older members are younger, right? All I know is Bang Chan is the oldest. That's all I know, I think. And also, but off camera, he can really be like, he has that like goofy, warm, playful energy, which I kind of really like. I like that he can be hilariously blunt and quite serious, but then have that goofy, warm, playful side. I love that mix. I think that's fun. And say that he has really good fashion sense and that he's a really good dancer, but also a really good rapper and singer. So obviously there's a lot more information out there, right? I'm just going by a lot of, a few bits and pieces that I, quickly did research on. There's obviously 8 members, and, this video would go for 3 days if I was going to go through every bit of information about them, right? But, so yeah, that's Lino. That's what I've got so far of him. We'll move on to the next person. I'm loving the cat energy and that he has cats and that he's hilariously blunt and can be goofy and playful. So yeah, definitely cool. Okay, so next I'm doing Han. So Han is apparently 24 years old. He was born in South Korea. And from what I've learned, he was part of, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but 3 Racha, which was with Bang Chan and Changbin. and apparently they started everything, writing a lot of music and producing their own stuff, and that's kind of what led to the TV show that they had, where they brought in all the other members. And yeah, I thought that was really interesting. I didn't realize that. So I guess that's what's led to them being self-produced and being really different from other K-pop groups, which is quite amazing. And I know a lot of you mentioned stuff about this in my comment section. So yeah, you guys are saying so many things that I'm forgetting some things, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard something about this, but I didn't realize it was those three members. So yeah, apparently he's really amazing songwriter, and he has credits for 174 songs. I think he's like the youngest to be put into some like Hall of Fame or something, or like some copywriting career, the youngest person to have the most songs, which I thought was really cool. I'm probably getting something wrong there, but it was something along those lines. I've got my notes here, that's why I'm looking down. I'm doing a lot of research, so this is taking me a while, so hopefully you like this video, and hopefully I'm getting some information right, and also sorry if I'm, obviously I missed a lot of information about them, right? It'll take forever, as I said before, so hopefully this is okay. And apparently he's, really funny, and like he's got like an unhinged sense of humor, and he's got like quick wit. Can't even say that, quick wit. Like he's very witty and funny and unhinged, and apparently he even roasts himself a lot before he even roasts others, and before anyone has a chance to roast him, which I love. Like I love that energy of like, because I feel like I roast myself a lot. I'm always teasing myself with my friends. I'm always like, before you get me, I'm gonna get you. So I definitely can relate to that. And apparently his facials, he's got a lot of memes out there because his facials are really meme worthy. He's very like strong with his facials. Like he'll be like, and he just reacts a lot, which I thought was so funny. And apparently he loves food. He's a big foodie. Again, can relate, love food. I'm definitely a foodie. So I thought that was kind of funny and cool. Off stage, he's apparently soft, playful, and slightly awkward, which I thought was kind of interesting because, he's very like funny and, unhinged and stuff, but then can be a bit awkward off stage. Love that. And just, overall, he's a cool guy. He's got really good fashion sense, extremely talented rapper, songwriter, I'm sure vocalist as well. Just seems like a really talented guy that's really funny, really unhinged, but then can be, soft and playful and awkward. And yeah, I just think all that sounds really great. I did not know that about Han. He was one of the ones I hadn't really noticed as much so far. So really, I'm happy I did read some information about him. He seems really funny. Okay, so next on my list is Felix. So Felix was born in Australia, which is really cool. And yeah, he lived around Seven Hills, which wasn't far from where I grew up. He's 24 years old, so he's, I guess, one of the younger members. Apparently he's a really good dancer and a really good rapper. He's really known for his like deep tone voice. And apparently there was like, what is it called? The Felix effect, which brought in a lot of new fans, new stayers, and caused a lot of people to react to, I think Maniac was it, and I can't remember the other song, I'm forgetting, but there was a few songs that made like people reacted to, and he brought in a lot of new fans. He's an LV ambassador, which I thought was really cool. So he's got really good, like amazing fashion sense. He dresses really well. People always look out for what he's wearing and what's going on with, what shoes he's got on, and his hair. Apparently his hair is really famous, the blonde hair he's got. And yeah, so fashionista, I guess. This was really cool. He's got a black belt in Taekwondo. I think he has won 65 medals. Like that's so interesting, right? You'd never expect that, right? It's so random, but yeah, really cool. Apparently he's one of the more kind-hearted, emotional members. All the members kind of turn to him. They're like hugging him, and and apparently he cries a lot. He really feels his emotion, which I thought was really nice, really sweet. He's just like a really lovable guy. Apparently he can be really shy, but once he gets comfortable, he can be quite playful and goofy, and you can see that other side to him. Like he's got that fun, silly side, but he can be quite shy and timid. And Stay apparently say that he's just like a loving angel, with his blonde hair and stuff. And I think I already said good rapper. Oh, and he has really good stage presence and charisma, like compared to his maybe when he's off camera, that kind of shy side and stuff. I feel there's a lot more I can say about him. I think he's the most followed on Instagram, so he's kind of more one of the more popular ones, and I think it's due to that deep voice and people reacting to him and bringing in the new fans. Of course, they're all amazing, they're all popular, they're all talented, but yeah, I realized that he's, I guess, got more attention due to his like deep voice and stuff. But yeah, I think it's really cool he's from Australia. I like that he's got like that warm side to him, but he can be silly and goofy, and yeah, cool. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, next is Bang Chan. Bang Chan is the leader of the group. He's 27 years old, which I think makes him the eldest in the group. He was, I believe, born in South Korea, but is Australian. Grew up in Australia, and he grew up in Greenacre, which again was like, I think 5-minute drive from where I lived. So really cool. You know, makes me feel like I have a connection to him. And he's pretty much one of the most integral members, you know, in the group. You know, he's the leader, and he's also part of 3 Racha. So he's a talented producer, talented songwriter, has amazing vocals, just a really important member. And apparently he's like one of the most caring leaders in K-pop, they say. He really cares about his members, and also really cares about stage, so the fans. He likes making sure at concerts like everyone's okay, everyone's safe. You know, he puts others first before himself. And he's really hardworking. Like apparently, like during, you know, when they do sound checks, all the others are laughing and running around being goofy, and he's like making sure everything sounds perfect, so that, you know, people that paid to come to the concert get their money's worth. So I think that's really cool. And he has like big brother vibes. But also he apparently can be really funny and really silly, and has like dad jokes, which make the other members apparently sometimes like laugh at him and tease him that he's the older one and stuff. So I think that's kind of funny. His stage presence, you know, he's really confident, and from what I got from what people were saying, he's like, he can be like really sexy on stage and really have this confidence and dominance about him. But then off stage, he could be really silly, and apparently he's a big yapper when he's doing like lives and stuff. He could talk about anything. Like he'll be talking about songs, but then the weather and just random stuff. And I think that's the Australian in him. I feel like Australians can be yappers. So yeah, I really like that. I like that he can be like confident on stage and have this like dominant kind of, you know, attitude, but then be silly and goofy off stage. I like that. Yeah, obviously a really important member, really talented, can be funny, really caring, and obviously the leader. And yeah, he's Australian, which I can relate to. So yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more to say about Bang Chan, lots more, but that's what I've gathered. On to the next one. Okay, so next is Changbin. He's 26 years old, and he was born in South Korea. Now, I've mentioned in my other videos that I've felt like a connection to Changbin. I just, every time he comes on camera in the music videos, he's just rapping, he's so strong and he's so confident. I just like his energy. You know how you just feel like energy towards one? So yeah, he's definitely a contender. Yeah, I like his energy. He's apparently also the 3rd member of 3 Racha, which of course, he's an amazing rapper and songwriter. Like I said, I felt like something towards him because of his rapping. I just always like when he comes on the camera, he's really cool. But apparently he has a really sweet singing voice as well, on top of being a really good rapper. So I'm trying to move the camera here so I can have his picture here. Apparently he's really naturally competitive, like as in he's really good at sports, obviously really good at music, really good at games. He just has like that natural talent. You know, some people are just really good at things, like whatever he plays, he'll just be really good at. He has a playful and cheeky personality. He loves teasing all the other members, apparently. You know what? You need to take a shot every time I say apparently. But I have to say it because, like I said, I'm just getting this offline. I'm just noticing how much I'm saying it, but I'm going to keep saying it. Apparently, he's very self-aware. Like, he's always talking about improving himself, and that, you know, he's working on his confidence and stuff. And he could be really shy when receiving compliments. And I added that in there because I felt like I could be like that. A lot of things I'm like adding, like as far as personality wise, obviously I'm not an amazing rapper and stuff, but a lot of the things I'm saying, I feel like I could relate to. And I felt like I could relate to that. You know, being self-aware and, you know, compliments, getting nervous with them. On stage, he apparently is really like explosive and has high energy and can come across like almost scary because he's just like so strong on stage. But then he's off stage, he's really just a cuddly guy and really funny, and I really like that difference. I feel like a lot of them, right, their on stage presence is a little different to their off stage, and I love that. I guess that's just part of the talent, right? So yeah, I really like Changbin. Obviously, again, there's so much more I could probably say about him. Just I wrote this down, which I thought it was funny. He loves chocolate. I love that because I love chocolate. So I really like him. He's really fun. I think that's everything. I'm writing all these notes down, so I'm just like trying to get everything off there. So yeah, really good rapper. Obviously extremely talented producer with 3 Ratcha as well. Yeah, I've said everything pretty much. Yeah, on to the next one. Next is Hyunjin, and I'm still trying to learn how to say his names properly. I think I said it all right then, but you guys can let me know if I'm saying it wrong. He's 25 years old and he was born in South Korea. Apparently he's one of the best dancers in the group. Of course, they're all good dancers, but I saw a lot of comments about his dancing being really good. He's also a really good rapper and got really nice vocals. He's apparently the Prince of Versace, so he's known for his fashion sense. And so I said I wasn't going to make this about looks, but what I kept reading a lot is that he's considered like one of the visually striking members with a really pretty face and really good looks, and he's very magnetic and stuff. But I'm not going to make this about looks, but I just wanted to mention that because it seemed to come a lot when I was doing my research. Something really cool is that he's an amazing painter and sketcher. I actually looked up on, on Instagram, and wow, that's what's interesting. Of course, being good looking is great, but like, that's the interesting stuff, right? Being an amazing painter, being an amazing sketcher. I thought that was really cool. Apparently he can be like really sassy, but then like in a funny way, and dramatic in a really funny way. But then he's really like funny and soft and warm. And perhaps something that I thought was interesting, he's really like tidy. Like he likes things being clean, and whenever he's on camera, like doing lives and stuff, everything looks really neat and tidy. I thought that was interesting. His on-stage presence is really like powerful and magnetic, and you find yourself just looking at him because he's like really good at dancing and really can connect. And I thought something really funny was like at the concerts, apparently he's like one of the only K-pop people that just loves being touched by fans, which I know that's like a hot topic. People say don't touch them, but I just saw like some edits of him like leaning into the crowd like this, and while everyone's rubbing his head and stuff. I thought that was so funny. So it comes across as if he doesn't mind, but of course, respect the K-pop stars. Don't be touching them and be all weird. If they come up to you, try to respect them, right? I do want to say that, but I just thought it was interesting that it seemed like he does enjoy it, but if it doesn't come out of his mouth, if he didn't say it, then let's respect them, right? And something I thought was interesting, his off-stage presence is apparently he could be like quite goofy and silly, and really like sensitive. He cries a lot of, he feels his emotions, I guess, similar to Felix. But then sometimes he could come across standoffish, like he doesn't want to hug, but then he's like hugging all the members and stuff. And yeah, this was the interesting thing. Apparently he has a really nice, like cute, deep bond with Felix. There's like good edits of him and Felix always like being snuggly, and they have that kind of brothership. People try and make it something else. If it doesn't come from their mouth, let's respect them. I think it's like a brotherhood. They have this connection. They've gone through so much together. But he also has it apparently with IN. I just thought that was interesting. So yeah, an interesting person. I love the fact that he's a painter and sketcher. Like on top of being a talented musician and stuff, he's got this whole other thing where he can paint. Like, talk about getting everything. Yeah, really cool. Okay, so next is Seungmin. I hope I'm saying that right. I feel like I'm getting better at saying it. Seungmin? I think I'm saying that right. Seungmin. It feels like it's rolling off the tongue better. Seungmin. Because I think I was trying to say Seungmin, but I realized a lot of people spelled it in my comment section as Seungmin. So let me know if I'm saying that wrong. So he's 24 years old. He was born in South Korea, and he's one of the most powerful vocalists in the group. People say he's got like a voice of an angel, and he's like really good live. Like he's got like really strong tone. He can change his vocals up a lot from really high to really low, and just a really talented singer, which I thought was really cool. Apparently he could be really calm, known as a gentleman. He's reliable, polite, well-mannered, but then also has a really dry sense of humor and a really good roaster. Like he roasts the members and he catches people off guard. Apparently he's like a legendary roaster in the stay community. People love his roasts and his random sense of humor because he's usually the really nice, calm one. he apparently keeps the group grounded. Like he really cares a lot about the members and makes sure they all feel good and stuff, which I thought was really nice. He loves photography. He apparently takes a lot of photos, like behind the scenes photos of the group and things going on. So he's really good at photography, which was cool. He gets compared a lot to a puppy. He's got, I think, golden retriever energy, and people say like his eyes give off like a really cute puppy-like golden retriever vibes, which I thought was cute. And people like the way he dresses. Apparently he's a really good dresser. But I think the biggest thing about him seems to be like he's the one with the strong vocals that like, I think even when I was watching some of the videos, him and Ayed, whenever they'd sing, like I'd get goosebumps, just really strong vocals. And yeah, I like that he's got the puppy energy and that he keeps the group together and that he's a legendary roaster. I'm clearly gonna have to look those up. So to see that, yeah, so that is Seungmin. And again, let me know if I'm saying that wrong. Okay, on to the last member. Okay, so last but not least is IN, who is 24 years old and was also born in South Korea. He's the youngest member of the group. Apparently he has a really shy, cheeky, cute energy. He can come across really soft, but he also can roast the other members at times and he can be silly and cheeky. He's got amazing vocals, so he's one of the main vocalists, and I've definitely noticed that in the songs I've listened to. He's made like me get goosebumps a few times. He loves food, which I thought was great. Fried chicken. I love fried chicken. Apparently he can be like really clumsy. He slips a lot at the concerts and stuff, and he drops things a lot, which I thought was really cute. He's known for his adorable smile. Again, not making this about looks, but just thought I'd add that in there. But on stage, he can be really like confident and charismatic, and yeah, like people just are drawn to him as well. I guess similar to Hyunjin. Hyunjin. I keep trying to say the names. But then off stage, he can be really like cheerful, playful, again, like clumsy, silly, cute. And I think because he's the youngest member, the fans feel really protective of him, I guess. But I also saw his nickname is apparently Baby Bread, which I thought was funny. I guess that's because he's like young and he's got that cute energy about him. But apparently, like in recent times now, people are saying, because he's 24 years old, he's a grown man, that he's all grown up, so he's no longer Baby Bread. Well, what would he be known as? Toast? fully grown bread? I don't know. But yeah, definitely. So when I did my short video, I think I mentioned this at the beginning of this video, I did a short little quick video where you select members to get your bias, and I ended up with IN. In IN, I'm not sure. I say IN because it's got the dot in the middle, but apparently you can say IN as well. So yeah, I ended up with him just based off like, I was just like quickly going through them, and but he's definitely a strong contender as well. I like his voice. I think he's got a really cool voice and he's got a good energy about him as well. Yeah, so I think that's all members now. We've gone through all members. Again, I know I didn't give lots of information. Obviously, there's 8 members to go through. This video could go for days if I was to go through every single little thing about them, right? And to be honest, even though I didn't speak about much, it took me a while to go through all that because I was trying to do it in a way where I didn't get any spoilers because I want to react to a lot of the music videos and songs. But obviously, if you're on TikTok and you're like trying to do research, you might run into songs and stuff. And I didn't want to do that. So I was trying to be strategic while also get some information online. So yeah, it took me a while, even though it wasn't a lot of information. But we're at the part now where I'm going to go through now and I guess select my bias and potential bias wrecker. Okay, so we're at the stage now where I'm going to select my bias. I do want to start by saying they're all talented, they're all amazing, they're all unique and special and bring things to the table. This is just doing this video for fun. Obviously, I think they're all great, but I just thought it'd be fun to select the bias and potential bias wrecker because, that's part of, I guess, the K-pop law, right? You choose a bias, you get a bias. So yeah, don't take this serious, don't get upset. I think they're all amazing. Okay, so obviously, where do I begin? Oh my God, I'm actually nervous. I guess I've got their names written down as well on my board again. I guess the first person I'm going to eliminate, and again, this is not in order, I'm just looking at the names. I feel like, although I really like, again, like I said, I like them all, I'm going to eliminate Seungmin, I'm saying the name again, and maybe Seungmin will be first off the list. For no reason, it's just, who I feel the connection with, I guess, right? Again, I think he's great vocalist and everything, but yeah, I guess I'm feeling the more connection with other members. So he'd be off, so we're gonna remove him. Okay, so next I'm going to say maybe Han. Again, no reason, just who I'm feeling more connection with is the other members. Again, he's great, but you know, we've got to eliminate people. That's just how it is, right? To get to your ultimate bias. Okay, so Han is next. Okay, I'm just trying to knock off a few people at the beginning just so I can get down to the ultimate ones who I'm going to choose from, because obviously there's 8 members, it's difficult. I'm going to say Lino next. I'm going to remove Lino off there. Again, talented, amazing, but we got to get down to that bias and bias wrecker. So, okay. So, yeah, Lino is next. So I've removed Seungmin, Han, and Lino so far. Okay, I'm going to be honest. This is where it starts getting difficult for me. So I feel like Bang Chan and Felix are both Australian and grew up not far from where I was from. So I feel that kind of connection with them. Like I said, in IN, for some reason, you know, like I said, in the quiz, the little short video I made, he was who I selected. I feel some kind of connection to him. I like his vocals. He's got a good vibe. I like his energy. Hyunjin, also, I think the way he dances and his confidence, he also has a really good energy. And I like that he could be like quite huggable with the members. And I don't know, he's got a good energy about him. I like his vibe as well. I like his fashion sense. I like that he changes his hair up a lot. Like he had really long hair and then he cut it short, and he had a shaved blonde head at one stage. So I like his energy, you know. And then Changbin, I think I've said this multiple times in other videos, that just something about him, I just feel a connection towards him. Like he's definitely been a top contender for me. Love his rapping, love his attitude, love his vibes, but I love that he can also be like fun and sweet and cuddly off stage, and that differences in him makes him interesting. But I have to remove one, so I'm going to say, oh my god, this is so hard. I'm gonna have to say, I think it's gonna be Hyunjin. It has to be, I think, which is sad, but it's gonna be Hyunjin. Sorry again with the names. I'm gonna get better. Okay, we're down to 4 members: Bang Chan, Ian, Changbin, and Felix. This is getting so hard. Oh my god. Okay, so again, Bang Chan being the leader. I love that he's a producer. He's the heart of the group. Being Australian, he grew up in Greenacre. That's really a strong contender. Like I said, Changbin is also a strong contender. Just again, his energy from the get-go has been strong for me. Felix being Australian, having that connection, I like his energy as well. The deep voice is really cool. And then of course Ian with his vocals. Oh my god, this is hard. This is actually really hard. I'm finding this difficult. I'm going to say Ian. I'm going to remove Ian, which is crazy because like I said, he was one of the ones I chose. But I'm just feeling that Australian connection to Felix and Bang Chan is really strong. And Changbin has been my, the first one from the get-go that I said, I said Ian. But when I listened to the music, the rapping and just the confidence and stuff really got, I felt a connection to that. All right, so we're moving Ian. Okay, so we're down to the top 3, Bang Chan, Felix, and Changbin. Oh, this is so hard. Again, I feel those connections with Bang Chan and Felix because they're Australian. They're the ones that I heard about first. That's what got me just a few days ago interested in Stray Kids, and here we are now making videos. Reacting to their stuff and then again, Changbin, the rapping, the confidence, everything I said already a million times. And I think if you watch my other videos, you'll say I mentioned him a lot. So it's really difficult. And you know what? This is a big one for me to say, but I'm going to remove Felix. I think it comes down to Bang Chan and Changbin. So Felix is eliminated. Again, love them all. They're all amazing. But, it comes down to bias and unbiased wrecker, right? Okay, so we're down to Bang Chan and Changbin. So what I'm going to do is with these two, I'm going to choose obviously the biased and the biased wrecker. So again, Bang Chan, he grew up in Greenacre, which is close by to where I am, so I almost feel that connection instantly. I love that he's a great leader and cares about his members, but then he also cares about the fans. He likes making sure they're safe at concerts. He's extremely talented producer, great vocals, can be a great rapper, great dancer. I actually like his fashion sense as well. One of the music videos I watched, he had blue hair and it looked so cool. But I also like his recent hair where he's got like, it almost looks like a mullet. There's just so many things to like about Bang Chen. Yeah, I just think it's really cool. He really cares deeply about his members, the fans. He's a good leader, talented, and he could be funny and silly as well. And I like that he's got the Aussie accent, so it feels relatable. And the way he talks, it's again, he grew up in Greenacre, which is close by to me, so I feel just that connection. And then Changbin, again, just every time he's on camera, I'm like, oh wow, he's so good at rapping. I like that he can be cheeky, but then confident on stage. It's just that energy, you know what I mean? I just feel that energy towards him. So this is gonna be hard. Okay, but I guess I have to make my decision. Okay, drum roll. There's no one here to make a drum roll. Okay, I've made my decision. Bang Chen is my bias. Clapping sounds, woo! I'm not a good editor, so there's gonna be no clapping sounds. This is my clapping sound. And Changbin will be my bias wrecker because even though, yeah, I do feel that stronger connection with Bang Chen, I think every time I'm gonna see Changbin on camera with his strong rapping and stuff, it's gonna get my attention. Obviously, Ian as well. I just really like his vocals and stuff. So, and Felix being Australian and hearing his accent sometimes, they're all amazing, all of them. You know, Seungmin is an amazing vocalist. He gave me goosebumps. They're all amazing. Lino, Hyunjin, all amazing people. Okay, so we've come to the end of the video. I've selected my bias, and obviously I'm still new to the fandom, so this can change over time. And of course, this video is, just for fun. It was just to have a laugh and, I guess get to know the guys more. I did a lot of research. I know, again, I said this before, I didn't speak much about each member, but obviously this video can go for days, right? If we're going to talk about everything, I said that before. But it did take me a while to do a lot of research. Again, with being strategic and not trying to ruin any of the songs that I haven't heard or, music videos I haven't seen and stuff. But I'm happy I got to get to know the members more. That was great. I feel like I know a bit more about them. There's so many members, so it's so much to learn. I think I'm improving on the names, but of course, let me know. And if you have interesting information about them, please share. I read all the comments. I even think I've been commenting on all the comments and reacting to them. It's fun. This is so much fun to me. I'm really enjoying this. So feel free to let me know any information you have. And obviously, Bang Chen is my bias now, and Changbin is my bias wrecker. But again, they're all great, they're all talented, they're all amazing, they all bring something special to the group. So please don't get upset with it if I said anything wrong. Let me know. Correct me, always correct me. I'm willing to learn. I want to learn about it. Subscribe if you like the video. Like and comment and do all that stuff. And I'm definitely going to be making more videos. I'm going to react to more songs. If you have any ideas for videos, like outside of just reactions, let me know. Thank you.